There are lots of different ways people use to plan their farm business. Using consultants and advisors, getting advice from family members, resilience planning is another way of looking at complex systems like Australian cotton farms. It recognises that a cotton farm is made up of lots of interacting parts with connections between them. A change in one part has an effect on many other parts of the system. Resilience planning starts with an assessment of how the parts all work and interact so the farm can be managed better. Resilience can be defined as the capacity of a system to absorb disturbance and reorganise so as to retain a similar structure, function, identity and feedbacks. All complex systems are constantly evolving and are subject to external and internal influences. Some are slow drivers of change over a period of time, such as changing terms of trade. Others are sudden shocks, such as disease or pest outbreaks. Systems are based on assets, which for cotton farms include water, soil, capital, habitat like native vegetation, energy and infrastructure. Systems operate within boundaries, which, if crossed, can lead to them operating in a different way. The points where systems cross boundaries are known as thresholds or tipping points. Trends also affect the way systems work. An example of a trend affecting cotton is the increasing cost of inputs compared to income. Resilience planning looks at the whole production system and identifies the critical drivers of change, potential shocks, and thresholds. This allows us to assess when an enterprise might reach a threshold beyond which the current production system is no longer possible. The aim in using resilience planning is to know how to manage the system so that it does not unintentionally cross a threshold. Whatever the system being analysed, from your cotton farm to a global enterprise, resilience planning starts with an assessment. This is how you would do a resilience assessment of your cotton farm. Preparation. Collect information on how your cotton enterprise works and its assets, from its natural resources like water, financial resources like cash in the bank, human resources like skilled staff, infrastructure like irrigation systems and buildings, and your plans for the future. Resilience of what? Put this information together so that you have a map of your cotton growing system that helps you understand all the relationships between its parts and its boundaries. Resilience to what? Go through all the information you have collected to work out what drivers and shocks might push your cotton system over a threshold to a state where it is no longer viable. The important part of this stage is to work out when these drivers will take your system past a threshold. For example, a very low cotton price might take the system past a profitability threshold. So what? Once you have identified the key parts of your system, how they are connected, and what might affect whether or not your system can continue, the next stage is to develop strategies and actions that will help avoid crossing a threshold. Some drivers will be beyond your control. For example, poor cotton prices or a drought affecting access to water. The important thing is that you think about how you might deal with these issues. Now what? Now you need to think about how you are going to implement your strategies in a structured way that tackles the biggest threats first. Remember that things will change over time, so it is important to monitor your system so you can adjust your plan and adapt to changing circumstances.